Hello and welcome back. My name is India and I happen to read a lot, and welcome to my summer reading recommendations. We are at the very beginning of summer. The perfect time, because last time I was severely late on my spring reading recommendations. I thought we would get in early with my summer reading recommendations. If you have not watched any of these videos, the way that I like to go about it is I like to recommend 4 books that I've read and 4 books that I'm excited to read this season. And yeah, hopefully you take some books away that you absolutely love, or you've read these and you support it, or just something you take from this video. So let's jump in. Okay, so like last time, I did actually just realize that I messed up. So we're actually going to do 5 books that I've read and 3 books that I haven't, because clearly I can't count. So starting off first, we have Assassin's Apprentice. This is by Robin Hobb. This is a staple in fantasy writing of all kinds. Like, you will not find a fantasy list that doesn't include this one for best fantasy books of all time. Robin Hobb lays groundwork for future fantasy writers and future fantasy series. In this one, we follow Fitz. Fitz is the illegitimate son of the heir to the throne, and he is brought to the royal court to train up to be an assassin, which tends to happen to bastard children in order for them not to rebel against their royal family and claim the throne. They get brought into the folds of the royal family and the royal court and get trained up to serve them. In this case, Fitz is being set up to train to be the royal assassin. And this is a coming of age story following Fitz from about like 9 to 15 as he's growing up as a bastard child. He has 2 different kinds of magic, one which is a magic from his royal heritage and another form of magic from his mother's side, which is considered wild and untamable and wrong. And it's just about how he's trying to balance 2 elements of his identity and just find out who he is in this world. It is so good. The reason I picked this for the summer was, even though it kind of, in my opinion, gives off a more autumnal vibe, how slow paced this is like the perfect book to take away on holiday where you've got nothing else planned. You're by the sea or you're by the pool and you just want to get lost in a world. I would highly recommend this. Then we have Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is a contemporary sports romance, specifically golf. And the reason I chose this one over the myriad of romance books I've read recently, I could have chosen a cowboy romance. The reason I chose this is that my boyfriend plays golf and he just finished the football season and he said, brilliant, we're in the summer, it's now time for golf season, which is what made me pick this up. This follows, oh my God, I've forgotten their names now. It's been so long since I've read this. This follows Wells Whitaker. He is a world-renowned golf player who is on the decline. He has got a bad temper, he's lost his love and his passion for the game, and he's basically competing in his last tournament before he retires. We have Josephine. Josephine is Wells's #1 fan, probably the only fan that he has left, and she has an expert golf knowledge due to being raised up by her family who are avid golf players who run a, what's it called? Like a putt shop? I can't remember what it is. But they run a golf shop and golf is just in her blood, and on a spur of the moment decision, Wells hires her as his caddy and they fall in love. I really enjoyed this. I speak about Tessa Bailey a lot. I will be honest, I've been feeling a little bit of a decline in her writing. I did just receive her most recent book, Broken Rival, on NetGalley, which I'm going to read on my holiday next month. And I really hope we go back to form, because Fangirl Down is my favourite book of hers that she's written, and I want her to go back to this level of writing that she can bring us, which she hasn't really recently. But yeah, this is an amazing sports romance. I love our 2 main characters. I love their dynamic. There's a really good conversation about body autonomy with chronic illness, diabetes representation, complicated male characters, but not in a way where it's like, oh, he's rude and gruff. Like, he is kind of gruff, but there's like a traumatic backstory where he can learn and he grows. It's just a really great character-led romance that I think is kind of swept under the rug in the rest of Tessa Bailey's kind of collection of work. And I think this is one of her best books, and I think everybody should read this. Then it wouldn't be a recommendation if I didn't include a cozy mystery. This is The Potting Shed Murder by Paula Sutton. This is one of my like all-time favorite cozy murder mysteries. It follows a woman called, whose name I've also now forgotten, Daphne Brewster. Daphne Brewster leaves the busy city of London to move her family into a village called Pudding Corner in Norfolk, and it's there that she's starting her vintage business. But one day the principal, the headmaster of her children's primary school, gets murdered, and she ends up solving the murder, basically. You know, it's a cozy murder mystery, you know what's going to happen. What I really, really liked about this book is I think Daphne's an amazing main character. I really like how normally when you have mysteries, it's normally like a down and out detective who's left his wife and can't see his kids and is a raging alcoholic, or an emotionally closed off woman who has to act like a man to be seen as like achieving further ahead as a detective. All those kinds of, you know, hard-worn kind of characters, or insanely kind of like whimsical and kooky kind of characters. Daphne's just a normal woman, a nice, empathetic, kind woman who means well, that is supportive, and it's through her kindness and her consideration for other people that she gets the information that she needs to solve the mystery. And the plots and the twists and the turns are done really, really well, and the writing is really lovely. What I will say is do not read the second one, The Body in the Kitchen Garden. Don't bother. The first book of this is truly an amazing feat of cozy murder mystery writing. I would literally put this on a pedestal of this is how you write a cozy murder mystery. I don't know how we fucked up the second one so badly, but this one I would highly recommend. Then we have The Summer That Hikaru Died. This is by Mokumokuren. This is a horror manga following Yoshiki, who's a young boy living in rural Japan, who one day his best friend Hikaru goes trekking up the mountains at the back of their village and goes missing for a week. And then he comes back and some kind of weird eldritch monster has overtaken Hikaru's body, and he doesn't know what to do. And this is really, really good. I've actually at this point read 3 volumes of this book. I really, really like the mystery element. I really like the conflicted dynamic that Yoshiki and Hikaru have, because Yoshiki knows that kind of disaster is going to fall upon this village if Hikaru stays around, but it's his dire love for him that keeps him around, and his conflicting feelings and knowing that it's kind of his selfishness that is keeping him here, which I think is really, really interesting. I'm really looking forward to the plot to kind of get a bit bigger. The first 3 volumes felt very central to the characters and their dynamic. I am at the end of volume 3, we seem to be picking up a little bit, but I'm very excited to expand the wider mystery, not just the relationship between these 2 boys. And then finally, I think I put this in my last summer reading recommendation, so sorry for the repetitiveness, but we have Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood, inspired by the Odyssey. It's set 300 years after the events of the Odyssey, and Ithaca is being cursed for 300 years to sacrifice 12 handmaidens to, what's the word I'm looking for? Placate Poseidon. There is a curse on the island where if they don't sacrifice these 12 women who represent the 12 handmaidens that Odysseus killed back when he came back to Ithaca, then Poseidon will destroy the island. And we follow 2 characters. We follow Leto, who is one of those women who is planned being that year's sacrifice, and Prince Matthias, who is a descendant of Odysseus, who's part of the royal family of the island. And we follow their 2 points of view as they try to break the curse on the island. The only difference is Leto, who is sacrificed to the sea and then is resurrected into an oceanic being, is been told that the way to break the curse on the island is to kill Prince Matthias. And it's got this really beautifully tragic love triangle between Leto, the oceanic woman she meets after she is saved from dying, who tells her to destroy how to destroy the curse, and Prince Matthias, who wants to break the curse but doesn't realise he's the reason that it needs to be broken. And it's this beautiful, tragic love triangle. It's got a perfect Greek island vibe, which I think is perfect for the summer. It is Greek mythology, which I'll be honest with you, like I've said this many times, I'm over Greek mythology retellings, though I do think this is one of the more creative Greek mythology retellings that are out there, because it's basically a brand new story. It's not even really a retelling. She's not retelling the Odyssey. She's used it as a bouncing off point. So I think that's why I like it more. But the characters are really well done. The writing is beautiful. I was sobbing on the bus at the end of the book. It's truly great and perfect for summer. And then we go to my three, because I can't count, my three books that I recommend that you read this summer. First up, we have Sakamoto Days. This is by Yuto Suzuki. This follows Taro Sakamoto. He is a retired assassin. He was one of the most lethal assassins in the game, but one day he falls in love with a woman, marries her, they have a baby. He's retired out of the assassin way of life, and he runs a convenience store in this really lovely neighborhood. But years later, a man from his past returns and he has to put on that assassin persona again. And I don't know what it is, just the whole idea of like a convenience store in Japan, action, it just makes me think of the summertime. Like, it makes me think about walking down a street in Japan, popping into a convenience store, getting an ice cream and carrying on with your day. And it just feels quintessentially summer, despite the fact I've never been to Japan and I haven't read this book. Then we have Then Things Went Dark by B. Fitzgerald. This is a reality TV murder mystery where we are following 6 characters. They are all contestants on a reality TV show on an island in Portugal or near Portugal. And one day, Reese, who is the most hated man on that TV show, is wound up dead the next day. And we follow the rest of the contestants as they try to figure out who killed Reese and why. It's a reality TV show. Gives me Love Island vibes, which is the pinnacle of summer. I don't care about the winter series. I think that's bizarre. It's the pinnacle of summer. It's set in sunny Portugal. It's a murder mystery. I'm thinking Death in Paradise, which if you haven't seen, it's a really, really good show. It's just what I think is a really good, I was going to say fun thriller, but a really good summery thriller that is perfect, again, for reading at the beach or reading at the pool. It's one of the books I'm considering on taking on my holiday when I'm at the beach. And yeah, really good. And then finally, for my literary fiction fans who are looking at these stacks and you're like, I don't read much genre fiction, it wouldn't be an India Reads a Lot video if there wasn't an element of genre fiction to it, but this is Honey in the Wound by Jiyoung Han. This is a very much giving, what were people saying, by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. 10,000 Years of Solitude, is that what it is? 100 Years of Solitude, 100 Years of Solitude. It's kind of like the Korean version of that. This is a book that follows a generation of Korean women in the 20th century, all with like strange and interesting gifts. And we follow these women as they are spread across Asia due to the effects of Japanese imperialism that forces them to flee their home. At the heart of the story is Youngja. Youngja, her family were killed by the Japanese army, and she has the ability, very much like water for chocolate, to imbue her emotions into her food. This gift is picked up on by Korean resistance fighters, and she is joined into their network of spies to try and take down the Japanese Imperial Army. So it's a little bit like 100 Years of Solitude with that magical realism, family saga, a little bit of Water for Chocolate with the imbuing your emotions into food, but it's also a little bit of pachinko in regards to the way that Korean people were treated by the Japanese Imperial Army in the 20th century. It is a family saga, it is magical realism, it is a historical saga, and I definitely think, I mean, this is a beautiful looking cover. I mean, look at that, what the hell? That is a beautiful bloody book. So yeah, if you want something a little bit more genre, I've got it, but if you want some good quality like literary fiction, I believe all of these books are good quality fiction, but if you want good quality literary fiction, this is one that I would recommend. I haven't read it, so I can't comment on it apart from that, but everybody that I know that has read it has loved it. And there we go. Thank you so much for watching. That was a quick rapid fire of my summer reading recs. I really hope that you read them and enjoy them, or if you have read them, please let me know if you like them, or let me know if you didn't like them. I like knowing people and the books they don't like. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that fun stuff.